López Obrador's strategy of attention to the causes of migration. The migratory flow to the United States continues downward, from 144,278 people reported in May, to 87,648 by the end of July, Foreign Secretary Marcelo Ebrard said. When accompanying President Andrés Manuel López Obrador at the morning press conference, he stressed that, based on the actions implemented in the Comprehensive Development Plan to address the migration phenomenon, Mexico is the only country in the world that creates a higher number of jobs of the people who return. The chief executive reaffirmed that the strategy is based on a thorough solution to migration, addressing the causes with productive activities, employment and options in places of origin. Protecting migrants is our concern. We're taking care of them in compliance with our laws and order, said the president. He explained that the implementation of the plan accelerated following the intention of the United States to impose tariffs on Mexican exports. We are complying with the agreements and we evaluate them permanently. The results were good in the first 45 days, he said. He also recognized the work of the team led by the Foreign Secretary, Marcelo Ebrard, to respond to the commitments made in the negotiations with the U.S. government. Mexico's cooperation plan with the countries of Central America has the purpose of not encouraging migration due to lack of opportunities or insecurity. By December of this year, 20,000 new jobs will be created in El Salvador linked to the So in Life and Youth Building the Future programs. Last week the presidents of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador and Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernández Alvarado, signed the letter of intent for bilateral cooperation for the implementation of the Central America Integral Development Program in that country. It will be financed with the Yucatan Fund that all political parties approved last year. Of this, 60 million pesos will be allocated to support the National Migration Institute, shelters and immigration stations. It should be noted that Honduras represents 47% of total migrants from Mexico to the United States. The president said that we're not a street lamp in darkness in the House, since, parallel to the promotion of development programs in El Salvador, Honduras and soon in Guatemala, in Mexico there are already 226,000 women and men enrolled in So in Life. We're supporters of the universal fraternity, of justice without borders, of humanism, he added. Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard announced that in October the first international conference of donor countries of the Integral Development Plan will be held in favor of southern Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador and Honduras. We believe that it will be a significant global support for the strategy promoted by our country. Just as we are reviewing the numbers of the flow, we will also review the numbers of how much is being invested. And we will convene the international conference in October for that. We'll invite the United States and other countries of the world, but here there's a joint responsibility of the United States and Mexico is already doing its part, he emphasized. As the electoral processes in Central America end, he added, it will be possible to show the results of the actions implemented. He added that nations that have more resources must take immediate action to create jobs in the regions that require it. Diplomacy is an instrument of politics and serves primarily to promote your point of view, promote your legitimate interests and persuade others. That is the objective of diplomacy. We understand that we have different visions, but we can persuade or we can move forward in one direction, and that's what politics is for. That's what diplomacy is for. We will show that important achievements can be obtained through the application of the programs, he remarked. He informed that there are currently 4,700 migrants registered in return working in the north of the country, who were offered employment under Mexican law. President López Obrador referred to the recent modifications to the Penal Code of Tabasco. We have the report that human rights are not affected and citizens' freedoms are not limited. It is necessary to end extortion and not allow corruption, he said. He announced that he will send to the legislative power an initiative to reform Constitutional Article 28 to eliminate the executive's right to remission of taxes and that this practice is even prohibited.